Is that okay? Test?
Yep.
Thank you so much for that introduction. It's so good to see everyone here today.
Hey, brother.
So I'm Dr. Karin Burkhard. I've been a child and parent advocate for 35 years.
Yeah.
And I have a message. I have a message for my fellow physicians, every single one of you up there, fellow physicians, to parents, politicians, and educators. We physicians took an oath, primum non nocere, above all do no harm. That is our mandate for our profession. Children and young people, in general, are at near zero risk of death or serious harm from COVID-19 illness. When infected with SARS-CoV-2, they usually have mild symptoms or are completely asymptomatic. Many of them are already immune. There are alarming reported adverse events from the COVID-19 vaccines, these new technologies, and concerns about long-term safety. There are numerous red flags that are coming up. Serious short-term complications such as myocarditis, irregular vaginal bleeding, clotting disorders, strokes, vascular damage, Bell's palsy, and autoimmune diseases have been reported, with all of the vaccines authorized for emergency use that are still undergoing phase 4 clinical trials. And there's no longer an emergency. The CDC is currently evaluating reports of onset of Guillain-Barré syndrome after the Johnson & Johnson vaccine. Last spring, the J&J vaccine was halted due to concerns about clotting disturbances. It was reinstated with a warning about clotting for women under 50 because the benefits outweigh the risks. However, the risk-benefit analysis for COVID-19 vaccines indicates zero benefit and high potential risk to children and young people over the course of 50 to 80 years of their future lives. Concerns about the risk of infertility have been raised by some Pfizer executives that have stepped down, based on animal studies documenting that the lipid nanoparticles that carry the COVID spike tend to congregate, particularly in the ovaries. Dense deposit in ovarian tissue have been noted. Vaccinating our young people to protect adults is not ethically justifiable. Mass vaccination of our youth is not needed to confer herd immunity. At this juncture, most adults have been vaccinated, have natural immunity, and/or were infected by the SARS-CoV-2. Children and young people develop robust and lasting immunity with infection. This natural immunity involves T cells that recognize subtle variant strains. The younger generation has sacrificed greatly during this epidemic. They lost a year of precious educational time and experience. Extracurricular activities and sports were halted. Opportunities for cultivating social development were eliminated. They spent 6 to 8 hours a day masked and isolated from one another, and still do. As a child psychiatrist, I've been on the receiving end of many devastated children and young people with depression, anxiety, panic attacks, and social phobia due to these public health and social policies. They have suffered greatly. The long-term collateral effects of their sacrifice for the greater good have yet to be assessed. These are our precious progeny. Their well-being is our future. No, I say, no more harm shall come to them at the hands of the medical community. Shame on you, my fellow physicians. Shame on you, Academy of Pediatrics. Shame on you, American Psychiatric Association. Shame on you, Academy of Child and Adolescent Psychiatry. Shame on you, Dr. Dave Chokshi, for not protecting our children from the physical, psychological, and mental devastating effects of these policies and these vaccines that you are promoting. The children'shealthdefense.org website lists 10 reasons why our children should not be vaccinated with these vaccines. I printed out every single one of their references. There are 325 pages of references that are peer-reviewed articles documenting the truth about these vaccines. Dr. Chokshi, you are the Commissioner of the Department of Health and Mental Hygiene. Where is your data to support these policies? I want to see it. I want to talk to you about it. I want to debate you. Shame on you for what you are doing and what you are presenting as the best thing for our children when we know better. And you know better. There's no excuse for this. It says on your website the core values of your department: science, equity, compassion. I see none of those coming from you, sir. Your mission: to protect and promote the health of all New Yorkers. That includes our children. How are you protecting and promoting their health? And you have a vision for a city where all New Yorkers can realize their full health potential, regardless of who they are, where they are from, and where they live. Do you know, sir, that the IQ of our children has dropped since the lockdowns that have been implemented at the hands of public health for public safety? Dr. Chokshi, I invite you, I implore you, I demand you to have this debate in real time with real doctors and real scientists, because the health and safety of our children is at stake, and we will not back down in protecting our children from the likes of you.
That's right!